Now, for those who do not know, I am a huge Tomb Raider fan. I have a couple of the original games. I have some of the later games, and I definitely have the reboot. I do like the original concept of Laura Croft, who is this badass woman that raids tombs. She's smart, she's fierce, she's intelligent, she's resourceful, she's sexy. Ultimately, one of the figureheads of badass females in video game history. And I did like the reboot version of the character. I thought it provided a good bit of depth for an origin style story, which she's a young girl coming to her own as she's overcoming all of these like very intense and crazy situations that's going on. So I did like that. Not I like the first game. I like the second game. The third game I wished could have been a bit better. I think they could have did a better job of linking her more towards the older version that we've seen in her initial release. But hey, they're supposed to be coming out with another game, but we'll talk about that another time. Now, Amazon is trying to do their thing with these with some of these television shows, and we can just say that there have been a couple of hits, there have been a couple of misses. Now, they're most I'm not going to say them, but HBO's The Last of Us possibly is one of the starting points, because video game, there were comic book movies, there were movies, there were television shows and movies based on books. Then there were television shows and movies based on comics. Now it seems like we're going into this where people are focusing a bit more on video games. Now, that's not to say that's a bad thing, because it really isn't. There are a lot of really good stories that can be told with video games. There have been a lot of duds, though. I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you that. Specifically last year with, I don't know, Halo and Resident Evil. Those were very, very bad television shows, but they did have some good ones, such as Cyberpunk. That was an exceptionally really good one. I heard that the Sonic series was actually pretty good. I actually liked the movie as well. But going back towards Tomb Raider, now Fleabag creator Phoebe Waller-Bridge is set to write a series based on the game, which I believe this is attached to Amazon. Now, Amazon again doesn't have the best track record with some of the adaptations. Let's just look back at the Rings of Power and how such a big backlash due to the change in the lore, the performances, the story, the writing, and of course with all of this woke ideology that's actually been infecting the media and all of its different forms. Like, it was the freaking flood from Halo, which they did it to Halo too, ironically enough. But you know, Tomb Raider is one of those. It represents the very thing that wokeism I supposedly identifies with, but the way things are being just run down everybody's throats just makes it. Now, me personally, I watched Fleabag. I actually liked Fleabag. I thought it was smart. I thought it was a bit raunchy. I thought it was clever, and I did like the humor of the show. I thought it was. I thought it had some good acting. I thought it had some good writing. But I really enjoyed the dialogue, and I really enjoyed some of the dark humor that's in the show. Now, I'm not sure what else Phoebe Waller-Bridge has really done. I know she has had some influence with the upcoming Indiana Jones film. I believe she's actually playing one of the characters. I also know she had a role in Solo, a Star Wars story. And I know she's done some movies, and I know she's done a lot of TV projects, but I haven't really kept up with her filmography, so I don't know much about her. But there is a lot that's going on, saying that because of what's been, I guess, because of what her politics are, or some of the possible, I guess, wokeology that she might potentially have, could be a bad sign for Laura Croft. Now, a lot of people have said that Laura Croft has been kind of going downhill. I liked Angelina Jolie as the original Laura Croft. I did not like her. I used to like them, but I don't like them now because the movies themselves do not feel like Tomb Raider movies. But embodies that character so well. And then Alicia Vikander, when the 2017 was a 2018 reboot came out, actually I felt she did a great job as the younger Laura Croft. So across both of those, I think for what they were going for, they did exceptionally well. And I personally do think that oh, there is actually supposed to be a sequel. Oh, never mind. I thought there was going to be a sequel. There was supposedly supposed to be a sequel to the 2018 reboot, but I maybe not. I hadn't heard anything on it from the way this is going on. This series is actually what was derived from that potential sequel. So, me personally, I don't think a television series is actually bad. I think it's actually a really good idea. I think there's a lot of room for storytelling, for some good storytelling, and I think there's a lot of really good room for growth and being able to, explore actual tunes, give us as audience to actually see what she's going through. But oh yes, I forgot she was in no. She did have a little bit what happened in No Time to Die. Now there's a thing with not in the James Bond film where people thought it was bad because there were elements of wokeism, and I can't really deny that. I don't think it affected the movie that much, but a lot of people have it said it is a bad movie attributed to the woke, and some of it because of Waller Bridges' influence into it. But having said that, I think this could potentially be a good thing. Now, I have heard some interesting news that in this version of Laura Croft, in this supposed story, and I'm not saying this is what it actually is, but it's not going to be the Laura Croft that we know on either front. It's going to be another Laura Croft, and in this one, she's going to be a mentor, and this is how she's going to get in. And then the people that she's supposedly mentoring are going to help her find either dive into some ancient tomb or uncover some kind of conspiracy or something like that. Basically, it's not going to be the hey, I want to go to this tomb because I want to challenge myself. I want the thrill of a discovery that we've seen in the previous incarnations of the character. Is just going to be her mentoring, which to some extent I'm not like overly against, but because of the way that she's been presented so much in media as it is, it's kind of hard for us to have that build up. See, if you watch an Indiana Jones movie, if this Indiana Jones movie or part four should have been, you could see Indy actually mentoring someone because in the first three films he's had his adventures, and unfortunately, and that's already a good setup for him having basically passing of the torch, which is what this basically seems like it might be, a passing of the torch. But the problem with that is we haven't had anything leading up to that for her to have a television show doing that. So if she had like if she had a couple of movies and then it came out a television show, if they had a couple of 2 or 3 seasons of her on these adventures, and then they had one season where she's older and she's a mentor, maybe then. But it could be something good. This could be something bad. And like I said, I'm not sure about Waller Bridge. Like I said, I like Fleabag. I actually like No Time to Die, despite some of the woke stuff in it. Didn't really too much care for my character in Solo because this robot was woke, and Solo was just a woke mess, to be honest. But anyways, I'm interested. I hope that they can pull this because this has potential. This is one of those series that I've always said, hey, it's a good movie. It was a decent movie, but it would have been either a better trilogy or a series of movies, one overarching story, or at least a series, maybe a 1-season series. So this has the potential, and we'll definitely see where they go from there.